It's funny because sometimes we can have like the sneakiest habits that look like hard work, but it's actually procrastinating. And I found myself doing this time and time again, especially in like my last years of university and early years coming out of university. A lot of us are planning this like productive life that we never actually do. Spring is the best time to start. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the 20s Detox. I'm Bianca, your host, where we dive into all the things that I'm learning and unlearning in my 20s to elevate this decade. Before we get further into this episode, make sure to download the episode if it's on Spotify or Apple and follow along. I release an episode every single Tuesday relating to seasonal guidance or giving advice for 20-somethings, young adulthood, navigating that time. I also have a goal to reach like 100 reviews on Spotify, so only if you've been listening to some time and you have a good idea of how you feel about the show, please make sure to rate it and let me know what you think. I think something that we forget to really talk about when it comes to action taking and going for your goals and trying to develop these habits, especially as it's come spring season where that is the forefront of what we want to be doing, how scary it can be. There's safety in the preparation stage. There's safety in creating the to-do list, in organizing your calendar, in planning these events later on. The scary part is doing the actual task, going for the goal, going to that event. That is the scary part. And sometimes we might look like we're being really productive when we're changing our systems around, having a different way of making our to-do list. And I think even if people around you think, oh, you work so hard, you're working such long hours, etc., you know that something isn't right though. Like, you know, something isn't feeling like you could be doing your best work and for less hours. Without rest, then the systems can be on overdrive and you're actually not being productive. And some of that time could actually be spent to these sneaky procrastination habits. This episode is really going to focus on how the spring season can guide you towards taking that action. Try to encourage you to maybe see some of these sneaky procrastination habits that you might be doing and urging you to lessen those if you can. So let's go back to the winter. It is a time of preparation. 90 days are for preparation. That preparation can include finding more research to support what you want to do, building this like creative energy inside of you so that when it's this time of the year, you feel energized to do so. And you'll notice that it's actually the people that are in hustle culture and live by the hustle that will fall into the trap of doing sneaky procrastination things that you think that are hard work. You're actually still in the preparation of it. So the procrastination sneaky bits are, like I said, the to-do list, the planning, preparing, the researching, the gaining inspiration, and you're always reaching this like build-up of an idea, play around with it for a bit, but you don't stick with it long term. And that fade off is because you are not actually allowing yourself to like take the leap and push past the hardest parts of action taking, which include the risk of failure. When we are able to overcome this whole idea of failure and perfection, then we are able to actually follow through with so many things we want to do, which builds our self-efficacy, it builds our self-confidence, and it also will take us so much further in life than those who work 10-hour days, and then they'll get another scheduling app or a to-do list app, or they'll change something around because something isn't working. I just had a friend tell me, being like, I really like your idea of seasonal living. I just don't really operate like that. But I do have these like moments where I work really hard and then I have to take a mental health break and a rest. And I'm like, that's actually a sign that you should be doing the seasonal living, because if you find that you are cutting your rhythm off and your flow off, which I think flow is going to be like the theme for May. Those who will find themselves in these patterns where like they'll work really hard and then they'll like crash out slightly and they need a mental health break, or they need like a physical break, or they get sick. That is a sign that maybe the system is not working out for you, for your health and for the good of a long-term project. So if you find yourself in those moments, that's when I really urge you to try and follow this seasonal workbook. Like, I don't just say it because it's a way for me to make money. It's because it's really changed my life and changed the way I operate and allows me to feel so much more abundant about my life. And that's why, like, when you dedicate winter to preparation, then you are able to build this vision and this creative energy within you to then propel you through spring. Spring is arguably the hardest of the year. Spring is the hardest time of the year because it is forcing you to take action. And it can be really difficult when you're shifting from this preparation winter. And then now the main themes are failure, perfection, procrastinating with this consistency because we want it to look a certain way. We're not happy with the results and we're struggling with the idea of failure. I've already mentioned this in a few other episodes for the spring season, but failure is a part of success. To fail is also to succeed. Those are work hand in hand with one another. And actually, without it, we will never recognize what success is, and we would never recognize what a bad day is or what a pivoting moment would be. So you need both, right? And that is something that is going to give you so much more clarity and insight than any sort of preparation. And what could this mean? Like, I'll give an example with the podcast. Like, if I found that, I'm working towards some creative projects and it's hitting off and then it isn't hitting off, and there's like a curve where it goes down and I don't get as much traction or insight, and I'm having these feelings of like, maybe I'm failing, maybe I'm no longer succeeding in this. What if I took a step back and just pivoted again? The best thing that you can do is keep going, because with every successful person that I know, they're comfortable with the fluctuations that come with it. Some of you might not be entrepreneurial, which is fine. This goes through anything in life. Your habits with how you eat, with how you work out, with how you communicate with your partner, investments, if you want to have some investments, there's always going to be this fluctuation. But the last thing we want to do is panic. With investing, the last thing we want to do is panic sell when the market tends to go down. How do we view this in a different way, in a lighter way? Oh, sometimes that's the best time to buy. Or we also understand about that long-term trend to be able to stay there and keep going. When we are going towards our goals, this is really also telling you, how resilient can you be? How much do you care about yourself and your success and your overall well-being? That you will be able to face discomfort, that you will be able to deal with people not always liking what you're doing, maybe not always validating what you're doing. The thing about living seasonally is you have a bit of this urgency every single 90 days to know, oh, a new season is here, a new intention is here. And if I miss it, then I have to wait a whole year to be able to channel that energy. I really urge you in the next 60 days, because we're in May now, resist fine-tuning your productive systems. Just surrender and keep going, because summer is a different energy. When we go into summer, I'll give you even more tips on what this can mean for overall success. But spring, let's not overcomplicate things here. Spring is not a time to prepare. You've prepared enough. You know what you want. You just got to do it. You need to just take the leap and go for it. And you're not going to feel 100% ready. You don't need to feel 100% ready. I actually don't know anybody in my life who ever felt 100% ready to fall into something or decide on something. Like, I don't think there's any mother out there that felt 100% ready to have a kid. I don't think any business owner felt 100% ready to start their business. I don't think every teacher out there felt 100% ready to go in front of a bunch of students and start teaching to them. I don't think every medical student felt 100% ready to go into medical school or become a doctor. The difference between people who decide to take action, though, is they're going with the fear. They're going with the fear of failure, with the fear of looking dumb and not being perfect and messing up a few times. And that is the energy that I want you to just take it. The thing I have in my notes right here is, don't miss this season. Starting before you're ready isn't always being reckless. It's trusting the clarity that comes from doing. So I guess that's the last thing I'm going to tell you there is, you might have some reasons for why you want to prepare. You think that that is a smarter system to follow before taking action. To a certain extent, planning and preparing for something is important, but then I think you need to know when it's surpassing a productive stage into a procrastination stage. You need to be able to realize that you get a lot more clarity on what will be better for you moving forward when you actually just start doing it. Like if it's a fitness routine, you can follow a bunch of fitness instructors, create a perfect workout split, but you're actually not going to know what's best for you and your body and where you're at with your skill level until you actually go to the gym and you start it. Some people need a longer warm up. Some people need more yoga in between workout sessions. Some people need more rest breaks. Some people need different workout exercises if they've had past injuries, their body shape, and all of that honestly will come more from just doing. Like I said, to a certain extent, having that preparation and research stage is important. However, when you take it to the point where you feel like you need to know everything before you take the risk, you'll never take it and you'll miss this season. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Make sure to check out my seasonal workbook. It's going to be in the description. This will give you all the more tips in order to take action this spring. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you for listening and tuning in. I really do. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.